Hi everyone, so in the last video I did, I mentioned about the loudness range of a particular video. I was using this waveform statistics box in a program that I use, and I kind of briefly mentioned about some of the statistics it gives about the integrated loudness and the loudness range. And this is actually really useful, and I want to talk a little bit more about the loudness range in particular. So the integrated loudness is a good tool to check, am I sitting around the correct loudness level for YouTube? And this also helps me when I'm naming the tracks and making the thumbnails and the titles, this integrated loudness, because obviously if we have a higher loudness track, if the track is really, really loud, it's almost to the maximum of what YouTube can handle essentially. That would be on here, it would be about minus 14 LUFS is what it would be here. This track is minus 25, so it's a bit quieter. So that means if I'm naming this track and I name it pouring rain and super heavy thunder, that doesn't really make sense because people are going to click on that expecting pouring heavy rain and they're going to get a track that's actually a little bit quieter. So that wouldn't be a great title for that track in particular. So the integrated loudness is a good kind of thing for me to check and make sure as well, like, okay, I'm trying to mix and create a track that's really, really heavy rain and really heavy thunder. We should be getting a bit louder than, minus 25. Maybe we should be getting to minus 18 or minus 16 or whatever it is. So this is a really useful tool. Then the loudness range is really useful as well, because essentially this is the range between the quiet parts of the track, maybe when there's rain but no thunder, and the loud parts of the track when there's maybe the biggest thunder strike just after some quiet rain. And this is useful as well because typically, maybe there's some people in the comments, you can let me know, but typically you don't want really calming rain and then you're asleep and suddenly a massive thunder strike. There are a couple of videos like that on my channel that I've made just because I really like the strong kind of thunder strikes. But that's I just wanted to make those, and I appreciate some people can't sleep to that. So with this loudness range, I always check this to make sure, we're not pushing that too high. There's not too much of a difference between the rain and the thunder, i.e. if we checked this box and we're checking the upload and it said loudness range 15, that would maybe be a little bit, okay, I need to revisit the mixing, revisit the mastering, and maybe kind of edit this and make it sound a little bit more kind of balanced and less variable through the track. And this box is really interesting as well because, for example, if I select this bit with no thunder, you'll see it recompute. And because there's no thunder, it's just consistent rain. The loudness range has gone down, 2.2. If I then select a tiny bit of the track with maybe some quiet rain and then a big thunder strike here, you'll see that again the loudness range has gone back up to closer to what it was. So this essentially gives us the total range and is a really good indicator again of maybe what we want to title the video, how we want to kind of mix it, and maybe if we want to change the levels of the rain versus the thunder. So maybe that's not too interesting to most people, but hopefully some of you found it interesting. That's it for today's video, and I'll see you in the next one very soon.